real quick.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, baby boy, we're back. It's right on time. I'm Gnarly Marv, the Brave Wolf.
A little braver, really brave.
The Brave Wolf, baby boy. The Brave Wolf is in the building.
What up, what up, what up? How's everybody doing? Hope you having a sinful evening, afternoon, morning.
You better.
My fingers are kind of slow. Come on, fingers.
You should be a hand model. You're really good at moving your fingers around. Shout out to Kraken. Killer 7 should get a new game. Killer 7 should definitely get a new game. I agree with that. Yo, but welcome back. Welcome back. Holy macaroni and queso dip. I don't know why, somebody feels like I haven't seen you in a millennium.
Right? It kind of flew by. Like it ain't like we were talking on Tuesday.
It wasn't. I mean, maybe because we didn't call each other this week. We usually call each other throughout the week. But yeah. I was having issues with my mustache, so I probably was like, I don't want to talk to him on the phone. He's gonna ask about it. He's like, Marv, what happened with your mustache? I'm like, listen, man.
Did it change colors?
It did.
I knew it.
Without even asking permission or anything.
What color did it change to?
Whatever it is now. I don't even know what color it is now.
Yeah, are you colorblind? You can't tell.
I cannot tell a lie. I cannot.
Yo, before we start, guys, make sure you like, you hit subscribe, and make sure you go to Apple Podcasts, leave a review, and follow us on Spotify and YouTube.
Do it. Do it now.
And Ty, how you been? What you been playing lately?
I have really good news. For the last couple episodes, I haven't played anything throughout the week, but this week I had a lot of time on my hand. I got shout out to Robbie helping out in the studio. He's definitely a great asset. Big body Robbie, he'll be making his appearance in the podcast soon, but I actually was playing on my off stream. I've been playing Final Fantasy 12 again. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and I really like it for like casual play because it's a game you could turn on and just get right into right away. Not like the older Final Fantasies where like you got to remember everything if you haven't played it for a while. So I'm playing Final Fantasy 12. I'm playing through the story again. I'm rushing to the end game because I want to fight those super bosses again. And then on stream, I got back to my streaming schedule. Monday Street Fighter, Tekken Tuesdays, Smash Wednesdays, Thursdays is Throwback Thursdays where we play a retro game, and then Fridays is Variety Night. I didn't get to do Thursday and Friday this week because my day job ran a little late, but Street Fighter was cool. Dan is so much fun to play with in Street Fighter 5. It's crazy. He's a joke character. Like he was invented as a joke, and he is so much fun to play as in Street Fighter 5.
He was invented as a joke, kind of like oh my god.
He's a parody character. He's a joke character, and not joke like how in Smash Bros. There'll be joke characters, but they'll be actually really good. Dan was invented bad, like he was created to be a bad character, and then they made him good in Street Fighter 5 because he's DLC. I guess you can't DLC sell a character if he's bad. You have to make him somewhat good because you're expecting someone to pay for him as a single purchase, and who's gonna purchase a single purchase if it's just a bad character? So I get why they made him actually good in this one. And then with Tekken, I've been playing it on PC because I do not have a PS4 anymore. And it's lonely, bro.
What?
Yeah, I don't have a PS4 anymore. A long story. I'll tell you about it off stream. But yeah, so I don't have a PS4. Shout out to DX the Great. He said Dan's straight up disrespectful. Yeah, Dan's disrespectful as hell in Street Fighter 5. But I don't have a PS4, and I learned the hard with it. Yo, Tekken is lonely as hell on PC, bro. I was sad as hell. Nobody to play with, bro. Fighting games on PC. I had recently made the comment, or not recently, all the time I'm saying I'm not buying a console anymore because I'm just gonna stick to PC with everything. After playing Tekken and being lonely as hell on Tekken, I don't know, bro. I think I'm getting a PS5, bro. Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon, but it was lonely as hell on Tekken PC, and no crossplay. So, but enough about me, bro.
It doesn't have any crossplay.
No, the game came out before crossplay got big. Tekken 7 came out before Fortnite, and Fortnite's really the game that opened the floodgates for crossplay. So I mean, he just missed it by a little bit. So no, there was no thoughts of cross. Sony wasn't doing crossplay. I mean, they could add it, but they're not gonna do that for like a 5-year-old game already. They're not gonna do that.
They're like,
Nah,
forget that.
that game came out 2017. They're not adding that, bro. They're definitely not adding that. But enough about me, bro. What you been playing this week?
So I've been playing Dead by Daylight. I enjoy Dead by Daylight whenever I'm a killer. When I'm a survivor, I suck. I don't know. I can't do it. But as a killer, like, I have fun. Stabby,
bet.
putting down, and
I bet you get to use your real life skills.
yeah.
I
Lyric,
bet.
yo, what's up, Boar Major? What's up, Shiny Navy?
Ew.
So we got. I played Bravely Default as well, and Bravely. And
Oh, you said Bravery? Oh. Bravery up.
make sure you if you need some quality content, you need a podcast done right, go to Bravery Studio.
If you're tired of your producer dancing all up in the videos, come to Bravery Studios. Yeah.
Dancing all up in your video, bad boy. I was playing Monster Hunter Rise as well, and a little bit of Smash Bros. But as you can tell, I hurt my hand, so I can't play it as good as I want to.
You got a tranquilo on la paja, bro.
Yeah, I was looking at a particular young lady too long.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. Where's my sad horns at?
Your wrist. your wrist okay? Fisting the elder dragons too hard. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, please understand. Sin loves women. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, though. Anything else? How's Monster Hunter been? How far are you with Monster Hunter? How's the experience been so far?
So they've included just a small amount of DLC. I already hit the end. I already got everything I wanted. But for me, Monster Hunter has always been about helping others get higher along with you, and that's always been the case with me.
Oh, it's like Creed. You sing that song, I can take you higher. That's DX's favorite song. Let me take you higher with arms wide open. I think that's one song, right? That's two different songs? I don't know.
Is it?
I don't even know. But yeah.
Out of context. I've been looking at a young lady. Oh, God. Yes, out of context.
Out of context. Completely out of context. But yeah, man. Monster Hunter, this is the one. Is this the best Monster Hunter of all time so far?
Monster Hunter World beats it by a bit.
Okay.
But I like that you can get, because you need voice chat. Like, it would be nice if it had voice chat, but it is what it is. You can still type, and you can play together and coordinate fighting the monsters. But other than that, right now as it stands, they still haven't added G rank, and they haven't added other things to it. So I'm hoping they do that in the future.
Copy. You want to get into the quickies?
Let's go ahead and do it. Fill me in.
Okay, here we go. Time for the quickies, baby boy. Yeah, I did DX. I know.
Yeah.
He said you did the paja while you was wearing the mask. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. So a quick quickie. A former Retro Studios developer, and Retro Studios being the team that worked on the Metroid Prime series and Donkey Kong Country Returns, recently said that a Metroid Prime trilogy Switch port would be unlikely because it would be extremely difficult. This is coming from Nintendo Life. I'm reading the quote. It said the biggest issue is that Retro Studios no longer has functional editor tools to work with Prime code base, so everything has to be brute force hand coded. Rebuilding the hundreds of interactions, Metroid Prime 3 alone, not to mention returning the gameplay to a slower, engaging pace of conventional controls, which would take a year with a 4 to 5 person team full time by itself. So pretty much what he's saying is that, particularly Metroid Prime 3, because I think 1 and 2 would be easy to port, but in the case of Metroid Prime 3, which they had a lot of motion controls, the entire game was motion controls actually.
Yes.
It would be very difficult to take it from motion controls to button pressing or regular standard controller pressing, whatever the term is. I don't know if I agree with this at all. This guy doesn't work at Retro anymore. This is a former developer, he doesn't leave, he doesn't work at Retro anymore. He doesn't know if they've already been working on it. He's saying it would take a year with 4 to 5 person team full time by itself, and which is insightful because I never knew how many people they put to work on remakes. Like, I didn't know if it was like 100 people, like when they make the first game. If it's only 4 people working on a remake, wow, you can get a lot done. Just remaking games. I see why companies do that. But and then he says it would take over a year, and a year doesn't seem like a long time to make a game, but who knows how long it takes to port stuff. Maybe it only takes months. So this is insightful to hear about, but I don't agree with what he's saying, only because Skyward Sword is coming to the Switch, and they took that back from motion controls to standard controls. What's your thoughts on this, Sin?
I think it's a different game altogether because Metroid Prime 3 was more heavily involved with motion controls than Skyward Sword. I'm pretty sure they weren't thinking down the line, and therefore they just pigeonholed themselves into a corner with Metroid Prime 3 because I'm pretty sure the coding of the game wasn't cataloged for better usage in the future. And
that's usually the case, but that happens a lot with a lot of games. I'm still willing to bet that if Nintendo saw money in doing an HD trilogy of Prime 1, 2, 3, if they saw that there was enough demand for it, they'd find a way to do it. Even if they have to rebuild the assets.
They don't trust Metroid. That's the problem. They're kind of like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem needed to catch its own steam for Nintendo to finally be like, oh, we can trust it. Like
I agree.
It took us forever, and now Metroid, it's the same thing. They won't push it. It has to grow on its own merits.
But Metroid never sold that well. That's why. So for us to get something like this, or even for us to get Prime 4, we have to show demand online. Like, we have to make our voices heard if we really want this, because that's how companies know to do these kind of things, like make an HD trilogy. If it's
Nova says, kind of explains why the Star Fox series is dead.
How so? Because of the motion controls, or because of the demand, or not trusting the series?
I'm pretty sure the issue with Nintendo has always been if they don't see sales increase, they won't put out a sequel. They'll wait a long time.
That's every company. Every company thinks that way. That's just
but the difference is that Nintendo will make a profit the majority of the time. They're so conservative with not only their we're gonna talk about this later.
About how much profit though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
If the profit's not that high, then they probably don't see a reason to do it. But I think that the demand is high right now for Metroid. Anything. Do I think they're gonna make an HD remake, or not remake, a port of the older games? I think it's a possibility. It's a possibility. They're definitely working on Metroid Prime 4 right now, so they believe in the demand right now. After Metroid Prime 4 is when I'm worried. That's when I'm really scared, because then what? After that, it could be another 10-year wait for something else. But
I wonder if Star Fox, if the same thing with Metroid, they just waiting a period of time to see if it'll build up enough hype for them to go ahead and make a sequel. Yeah,
of course, I'm 100% sure. But the problem with Star Fox is that, at least me personally, I don't see as much demand for a new game, and I don't see what else they could do new with the series either. Maybe they could do I don't know. Maybe they could take cues from other shooting games and not just make it a rail shooter. But at least for me, I don't see a lot of potential. Even with F-Zero, I love F-Zero, but I'm not gonna lie to myself and say there's potential for new technology has opened up new ideas in that space. I still think racing games are kind of dead right now.
I think F-Zero would be a good future thing to do. I think yeah.
But if you go by Nintendo's design philosophy, you have to innovate with every entry in the series.
Well, that's no longer their philosophy with the Blue Ocean philosophy. They changed it.
You could be right. But even still, I don't see. Even F-Zero GX on the GameCube didn't even sell that well. And Star Fox Assault didn't sell that well. Star Fox Adventure didn't even sell that well. So
yeah, that's true.
We're demanding games for Nintendo to make them, and then we're not buying them. Like
True.
we're not buying them. So if you want a new Metroid, when they drop Metroid 4, go buy it. Go buy it, and then they'll show Nintendo. Oh, the sales are high. Like let's make more. Be
Yeah.
happy they even
True.
announced 4 if that ever comes out. I don't even know if that's still coming out. But this is a quickie. We took too long on it. Yo, sup, Marvin
Yeah, we
Sin?
said, whoa, we got stun locked.
Yeah, we got stun locked on it real quick. What's up, Alucard, bro? How you doing, Alan Mark? Next one. Waluigi render takes over the internet for a day. Um, I wish I had a screen capture to show you this render, but you guys probably seen it on Twitter. It's Waluigi holding a rose with his tongue sticking out. This is officially a Nintendo render from their website.
Whoa.
Reading from Nintendo Life. If you're a fan of Nintendo's purple mustache mischief maker Wario, then there's not much to be excited about right now. But well, we guess that's why his followers on social media are so happy about the latest render that popped up in this week's Nintendo episode of Nintendo Minute. And it's just a picture. It's just a render. It's not really anything new. It doesn't mean anything about a new game or him training in Smash. But what I do notice in this picture is that they're queer coding this character now. And I don't know if that was always the case with him, but this is definitely queer coding that they're doing with him, which I like. I like it in a sense. A lot of people think queer coding is bad, but I'm not particularly upset about it. But let us know your thoughts.
What is it? What does that mean in particular?
Queer
I'm sorry,
coding,
I'm not.
queer coding is kind of like just implying that that he might be LGBT. Maybe you don't see that. Maybe that's just me, but the way his legs are, his knees are kind of pointed at each other, and his tongue is sticking out. And he's holding a rose. It's kind of like what they do with Vega in Street Fighter. Vega's very much into his image, and he has queer coding, but he's not necessarily queer. He's not necessarily an LGBT character, but he has elements of a LGBT character. Kind of like in Lion King, you know how Scar is. Scar's mad elegant and has a very, like, I don't know if you call it queer coded form of speaking, but that's what I'm interpreting from this image.
Okay, I didn't know about that. Have you seen the upcoming game called Biomutant? No.
No. What's Biomutant? No, we're not talking about that anyway. Moving forward. BAMCO, last quickie. BAMCO re-registers its trademark for the BATEN KAITOS series. Does this mean we're getting a new BATEN KAITOS? I don't know. What's your thoughts? You sounded like you knew something about BATEN KAITOS.
Listen to me. BATEN KAITOS is one of my favorite series ever.
Really?
The story, yes. The story is so good. The gameplay was meh. It was based around card concept, and that's how you would fight with these cards. But the story was really good, and I remember that RPGs were so limited back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a welcomed addition, and some of the developers for BATEN KAITOS moved over to Monolith Soft. So that's why the Xenoblade.
Monolith Soft, if I'm not mistaken, made BATEN KAITOS before Nintendo brought them.
Yes. And so I'm hoping that they do come up with a sequel. And the game didn't age well, I will admit. If you look back on it, but back in the day, it definitely was a taker. Now it's just you look back on it and you're like, the gameplay looks stiff, the environment looks stiff, everything looks dated.
Yeah, I brought it day one when it came out because, like, for the same reason, I was like, my GameCube needs some RPGs, especially JRPGs, and I never could make it far because I kind of got bored with it after a while. And then when part 2 came out, I was hyped for part 2, but then I never brought it. I had bad memories. I really thought the game was going to be a lot better. I remember the game didn't even have cutscenes or close-ups because the camera was always so far away during the story. Only during the fight you see kind of close-ups. It kind of felt like a PS1 game, to be honest with you, on the GameCube. And I like the character designs in the world. It looked cool, but damn, they never really. It kind of didn't play out the way I thought it would when I brought it.
The story really sold me, but
I didn't make it far enough to hear the story. I didn't make it that far. I wasn't able to make it that far into the game to know the story. Because I only played a couple hours of it after first buying it. I played like the first 4 hours maybe.
One thing I'll give it is the music. No, I'll give it the story and the music. Yes.
I don't remember the
Fire.
music that much either. But let's get to the meat and potatoes now.
All right, we're gonna move to meat and potatoes. Make sure you follow this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
You better do it.
Do it. Do it.
You guys, are you leading
All
on
right.
this one?
I'll lead this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Nintendo talking about acquisitions when the time is right.
This is crazy to me. This is crazy.
Huh?
This is crazy to me. Keep going though.
You would have never in a million years imagined Nintendo would be doing any of the things that they're doing now. By the way, ever. They got $9.2 billion. Like, that's insane. Ready to go.
Is it billion or trillion? I think it's a trillion. Oh, it's billion.
Nah.
You're right.
It's billion to use. It's trillion in yen.
Yeah.
Okay, so mergers and acquisitions have been the talk of the town since Microsoft completed $7.5 billion deal with Bethesda last year. So Nintendo has been moving forward after Shuntaro Furukawa has talked about the $9.2 billion cash reserves that they have, and they are very interested in acquiring other developers. And he says in a comment, we need to secure cash reserves to ensure financial stability. But if we need to respond rapidly advancing technological innovation, we may acquire companies that possess the technology. So they're not only referring to games, but they're also referring to technologies and patents. They usually used to create their own ideas, but it seems like Shintaro Furukawa is seeing what we've talked about now, where technology is hitting a wall. Innovation is no longer what needs to be sought after for a bit. I think virtual reality eventually will be the conventional means. I don't think everybody wants to commit, however, their physical body into movement into a video game, though. So I don't know how that will be transitioned, But for now, the technological gap is there. Like, I mean, it's just the wall is there. So Nintendo seems to be more about trying to get into acquisitions at the start of this year when they acquired the Canadian developer Next Level Games, which was the team responsible for Luigi's Mansion 3. So how do you feel about this?
I'm mind blown. I never would imagine anyone in Nintendo ever having the conversation about acquisitions, especially company acquisitions. It's mind blowing, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy Nintendo's looking this way. This is the standard that Disney set a couple years ago when they just started buying up everything. Microsoft is currently in this mode also. Even Sony, they bought a piece of Discord, last week, and that still falls into this realm too. The bigger companies are becoming bigger by buying bigger companies, which is just say that sentence 5 times fast, and that's where the world is right now. I think the future is leading toward there's going to be less companies out there. It's gonna be almost monopolized, but there'll probably be like 3 in every space. Especially with Disney buying like Fox, that is just insane to think about. Insane. But who you think Nintendo should buy? What's a company or a patent or even somebody outside of gaming even that you think Nintendo should buy?
Honestly, Nintendo, if Nintendo's smart about it, I think in terms of movies, they should definitely engage with Pixar for movies.
That's Disney.
Okay, well, Jesus. I don't know about that one then. I don't know about that one.
How about in the gaming realm?
Huh?
How about in gaming?
Honestly, they have not needed to. They don't need acquisitions in that department just yet, but they need partnerships. They absolutely need partnerships. We don't have any third-party games, and I don't want to hear technological limits. We already know that they're coming out with a new console, a stronger console, and we already know the Switch itself might be weak, but it can still run games. But I mean, look at Witcher 3. So, no excuse. Like, partner with Microsoft, for heaven's sake, do it. Like, you have $9.2 billion.
Well, I mean, that partnership could happen even without an acquisition. Even my brain automatically goes to like Platinum Games, but they already have such a strong partnership with Platinum that they don't really need to buy even a piece of them because Platinum puts a lot of stuff already on um Switch or whatever. I know this may hurt more, but if Nintendo buys Ubisoft, it'd be cool. Please don't buy Ubisoft, Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo would buy Ubisoft. Ubisoft already supports the Switch a lot, and you would think the acquisition, if Nintendo's gonna spend money on a company, it has to be super extremely beneficial, and it's something that they don't already have at the moment. Kind
That
of
they
like,
don't own, like
yeah,
Monolith Soft, you know,
yeah, like
they own
Monolith
it.
Soft. Monolith Soft was an awesome purchase because Nintendo didn't have a JRPG house. They didn't have people in house. Well, that's debatably even. I shouldn't even say that because they had Camelot and they had Intelligent Systems, which worked on RPGs before. But Monolith Soft is a little more um, renowned and makes more modern JRPGs. But yeah, an acquisition like that, even like Next Level, when Next Level can take on games that Nintendo necessarily doesn't have to do themselves, get their hands dirty in places where they don't have to do it. So you would think they would buy something that they can't provide themselves, I guess I can't really think of a game company either. But doing what like Sony did last week and Nintendo buying a piece of Discord or some kind of communications, because the
Sony
Switch.
would be,
So,
Sega would be a good.
I don't know because what does Sega have to offer Nintendo though?
No, it's not about what they have to offer. It's about what Nintendo can refocus. Like they, when they got involved with Sonic and the Secret Rings, and I keep saying this over and over, Secret Rings wasn't that great of a game, but it was good enough so that I was heading in the right direction. And then Sonic Colors came out, and it was like they took some hints from Nintendo, and same thing. So I'm just like, maybe if Nintendo was more hands-on and purchased them, they would permanently guide Sonic in a way that they stopped doing the whole this game worked. Well, now let's do a new thing. It's like, no, look, it's working. Stop changing the gameplay and dynamic.
I honestly think it does have to be. It's more about things that are advantageous and it's gonna make Nintendo more money. And I don't think buying Sega is gonna make them more money. They already have $1 trillion without Sega. You know what I'm
True.
saying? I think what they need to get to 2 trillion is fix their online. So go get a piece of somebody that has a good online infrastructure. Go buy a piece of Discord because your communications on your console are bad. Go buy a piece of Nvidia because they provide the chips for the Switch. So you know that's where my mind goes when I hear acquisitions. Like Disney brought Marvel. Why did Disney buy Marvel? Because Disney doesn't make um content for boys. If you really think about it, Disney has
Yeah.
done a couple like Aladdin and Tarzan, but Disney before they brought Marvel was more like for girls with the Disney princesses. You know what I mean? So
Secondary mass.
when they brought Marvel, they expanded their audience by adding teenagers, boys, and then they've discovered that even adults love superhero movies. Disney did 1 plus 1 is not 2. Disney did 1 plus 1 is 100. They multiplied exponentially. So when Nintendo buys a video game company, it can't be just, oh yeah, we have some more Sonic games. That's Nintendo can make a lot of money without Sonic. Nintendo needs to buy a company that they don't have, like Retro Studios. That's a smart buy because they made Turok games on the 64. If people don't know, Retro Studios made all those Turok games on the 64. So Nintendo saw them and were like, hey, they're making first person shooters on the Nintendo 64, which is something we don't do. We don't make games like that, but those games are popular. Let's buy them. They can handle that and we can keep doing what we're good at.
Exactly.
That's what I think acquisitions are good for.
I think their online is that was a very good point. I forgot about that. Like they need to acquire a company that will literally give them more online mainstay because oh boy do their online suck.
Boy, but emulation. They need to buy a company that knows how to do great emulation.
War Major said he sent me a picture. He's watching us on the PS5. Is it PS5? Yeah, PS5.
Shout out to the PS5, bro. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Buy a company that's gonna do 1 plus 1 equals 100. That's my thoughts on that.
No, again, that's you just gobsmacked me in the face with the online thing because it's like clear as day, dude.
It is.
Like
It
obviously,
is. It is.
acquire a company that will get your online freaking working.
Bingo. Mobile games. They had a partner with Niantic because Nintendo didn't really do mobile games before, or actually never did. Actually, partner with Niantic. Boom. Partner with Platinum Games because Platinum Games makes great action games, and Nintendo didn't really have a lot of good action games. So do partnerships. Do get somebody that can do what you can't do. I'm not good with math. If I partner with somebody in my business, I'm gonna get somebody that's good at math.
I'm not good at math.
Yeah, man. Ding, ding, ding.
So what is speaking of math? What is this Nintendo most profitable year? What is that?
Yo, everybody knows 2020 is the year that everyone says is we have to forget. It's the worst year in all of humanity. But not for everyone apparently. And this is no disrespect to anyone who lost somebody through the pandemic and all that jazz. But a lot of businesses are saying that they have done the best they've ever done and had the highest profits in 2020. And let me read this from Kotaku. It says, in 2020, Nintendo saw huge profits, likely boosted by people quarantined at home playing video games. According to the company's newly released financials, which covered the period, damn freaking ads, bro, what the hell? Which covered the period, which covered the period between April 1st, 2020 and May 31st, 2021. Nintendo saw a 34.4% increase in sales to 1.76 trillion yen, which is 16.1 billion in America, and 85.7% spike in net profit, reaching 480 billion yen, which is 4.39 billion American dollars. The company had 36 games selling a million copies on its hardware, a million each of these 36 games, with 22 of them being Nintendo titles. Out of those, at the top, Animal Crossing, 20 million. Mario Kart Deluxe sold 10 million. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, 9 million. And Ring Fit Adventure at 7 million. 7 million Ring
Whoa.
Fit. Yeah. Yep. Currently, Osaka, Tokyo, Kyoto, and Hyogo are under a state of emergency due to COVID-19. According to Nintendo, the virus could pose problems in the production. So there's more to the article, but I think we got the main gist of it. A lot of companies, including Sony, the PS5 has become the fastest selling console in America, at least last year. And Nintendo's also reporting humongous numbers. Bro, the pandemic has helped a lot of companies. A lot of companies are seeing huge increase. People being home, people buying games.
Especially companies that are just, something that ties you down to home. Like,
Yeah, I mean, everyone had a lot more free time last year. Nobody could say they didn't. So, I mean, and a lot of people got, assistance last year, financial assistance from wherever their governments or whatnot. So people brought games because what else are you going to do at home? Are you with your wife and your kids for 24 hours? Come on.
Forget about it.
Come on. So, yeah, I mean, this is not a surprise to me. Ring Fit selling well is a surprise. I didn't know that game was selling so well, but that goes to show Nintendo still has to do those Wii-like games because they still make money. They definitely still make money, so keep making them, I guess. Somebody's buying them. Actually, 7 million people are buying them.
Honestly, I don't think why they ever moved away from the Wiimote is beyond me. Like, they could bring it back and it will do just as good as it did before. For older people.
I like the Joy-Cons. I wish the Joy-Cons had more Wiimote-like functions. I like that you could play normal games with it, four buttons in the layout that every other console has. Maybe if the Joy-Con had more functions like the Wiimote, because the Wiimote has a front pointer. I think that's all the Joy-Con's really missing, the front pointer, because this is why they're saying that we're having problems bringing Metroid Prime 3 to the Switch or even Skyward Sword. That front pointer did a lot of work. Even
Yeah,
for like,
the pointer on the Switch is trash.
is it trash? I never had any issues with it really, but I then again I
Because it's not direct. It's not the Wiimote used to track it with two sensors on the sensor bar, and the one on the Switch tracks it by positional alignment. So you have to keep repositioning, and
I'd
so for a shooter
imagine.
that wouldn't work.
I'd imagine. So yeah, I think that's the one thing that the Joy Cons are missing, that front pointer and the sensor bar. They should have kept that. I think if they were gonna retire the Wiimote. That's my opinion. Alucard in the
Yeah,
chat. My bad. Alucard says all video game consoles sold out. The Switch, the PS4 was sold out after the people went for Xbox, and even now it's been a year and there is a shortage from PS5 and Xbox Series X. Even PC parts are hard to get to. People are buying stuff, bro. People are spending money. Stimmy money.
gonna say the Joy Cons are basically the same as Wii, besides the point you made. Yeah. So the Joy Cons, something that upsets me about Nintendo is that they'll add a lot of things and then not use it. Like the HD Rumble on the Joy Con is phenomenal. I don't think people understand how great the HD Rumble is until you play 1-2 Switch. There's a particular mini game in there that you're supposed to be able to see how many balls there is inside the rolling around your Joy-Con. You're supposed to the Joy-Con is supposed to be a box, and there's supposed to be balls inside it, and so you just roll the Joy-Con around your hand, and it's so accurate, the HD Rumble, that you can literally feel as balls roll through your hand, and you can even shake it and count how many there's inside. Why are we not using that?
Nintendo's notorious for inventing something and then not using it. You know what I mean? They're notorious
Yeah,
for it. But I don't know. Maybe they just can't think of ways to apply it to many games. Because you can innovate all you want, but then, like, what are you gonna do with, like, if we were talking about Star Fox? Is there some
bro,
application to?
you can literally make Fox hack into a place, or build it around sensing enemies. Like, it's so many innovations that you can do that come off the top of my head. Imagine an actual developer, which is what Nova said earlier. It's like, why Nintendo won't purchase creative companies, and then just put that acquisition into a already existing franchise, which they've done in the past. But
Wait, come back
in
to
the
me
past,
for a second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're saying the HD Rumble, you can apply it to like a game like Star Fox in a way where it's like
because
essential to the experience.
yes, because the rumble is so precise that you can literally feel locations within your Joy Cons. Not only that, if you're holding both Joy Cons, you can actually tell if it's vibrating on the left, bottom right, top left, in the middle. The vibrations can feel like slashes at times. They could also feel like paper rolls. So the HD Rumble is so precise; it can do very unique things, and it's not used enough, and it's slept on, quite obviously.
You're probably right. I never experienced any of that stuff just from playing Smash Bros. And what else I play, RPGs, retro games. So I mean, yeah, it sucks. It's a great thing. Whether or not every game could have a great application for it. I don't think they should go into it always thinking like we have to somehow make this new invention or new idea fit into a box that it doesn't fit into. Because that's what they did with Star
Nintendo
Fox
made,
Zero. Star Fox Zero, they ruined it because they focused way too hard on the gamepad.
yeah, but they doubled down on it.
Way too
Nintendo
hard.
may end up bringing the next age of VR and AR, although Sony did a great job with AR with the Vita. True.
I think when Nintendo gets his hands firmly gripped on VR is when the VR age is gonna start. All this
Let's
extra stuff that's happening right now, it's nothing. It's nothing.
let's
Trust me.
not let's not have a virtual console again. Let's not have.
A virtual console? Like
What
the
was the name of the stand, the red stand? I forget what it was
oh, the
called.
Virtual Boy.
Virtual. Let's not have a virtual boy
I don't
again,
think that
please.
could ever happen. But listen, I think when Nintendo grips his hands firmly on this VR thing, when they firmly grip it, kind of like what they did with Pokemon Go when they figured out mobile gaming, it's gonna be a monumental moment in gaming. I'm sure it's in the R&D room right now. There's some guy getting whipped to walk around in VR with a Switch taped to his face. I guarantee that's happening at this moment. Guarantee you,
Player One.
he never seen his family before.
Ready Player One.
Exactly.
They got to bring the age of actual stable online first.
No. I mean, that's always been Xbox's and territory. Honestly, online would not be what it is if it wasn't for Microsoft. I can talk crap about Microsoft for years and ages and dimensions and whatever. But real talk, if it wasn't for Microsoft, online gaming would not be as good as what it is right now.
Agreed. We all recall the Call of Duty days.
Even before that, on the Xbox, the original Xbox, like it became the selling point for the console. Play Halo online. Like you couldn't do that on PlayStation. You couldn't do that on the GameCube. So that's the reason why Microsoft outsold Nintendo in the 6th gen of consoles. Just because they introduced online, they made it a main selling point for their console. Where Dreamcast had online, but they never really did anything with it. So yeah, that's I'll give Microsoft that. That's their claim to fame.
So I'm real quick. I'm not gonna talk about this for too long, but so Resident Evil Village. Have you read any reviews? Have you kept up?
I've seen good reviews for it. It's looking like it's getting reviewed well. Am I interested in that game? Nah, man. I don't know. The game's not selling. They're not selling it to me, man. It's not. First, I'm not really too big on first-person games in general. And when I see gameplay of it, and when I see the game in motion, I'm not sold on it. Like it's not coming to me. It's not coming to me at all. I don't like that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I personally, I'm always a fan of third person, like Marv said. I don't particularly like the first person that much. I'm seeing people say that it's a 10-hour playthrough. That's a little short.
Really? 10
yeah.
hours? Well, honestly, most Resident Evil games are short. They're not. They're meant for replay and speed running.
True.
So I mean, 10 hours not bad. It's not bad.
They apparently have multiple forms of enemies, which I won't spoil. And I don't think they were predicting how big the tall-legged lady was gonna be, because according to what I've read, she's not that present, and she's a stalker-ish type of enemy like Mr. X, but she's not as present as you would want her to be.
Yeah. The boys that brought that game just for her, bro. To only have her in there. If it's a 10-hour game, she's probably in it for 2, and they're probably sad as hell.
Oh yeah. I don't like. I'm particularly like everybody's like loving it. I'm particularly a little more picky with it because unfortunately I don't like when things are not explained well. Don't give me magic. Give me reality.
Wait, they have magic in that game?
No.
Okay.
I'm not trying to spoil anything. I just don't know why certain enemies exist.
Oh, okay. That was my thing a couple months ago with the game. I like that Resident Evil's horror is a science based. It's more like a Frankenstein style of story where an evil scientist created this virus that turns people into zombies. I like that more than these monsters rose up from hell and the devil and God are fighting a war on planet Earth. Like I like the science-based horror more than medieval horror, like with Dracula and all that other stuff. Like I'm not too big on it, but it looks like they have mythical creatures in the game, and they look like they have human beings that possess powers that seem magical. I get what you're saying, and that's also my big thing with that game. I'm like, nah, I'm cool with just saying we shot a bunch of humans with dog DNA and they became werewolves. Like I'd rather just say that than try to fool us and make us think that this is a This is Resident Evil going into the Silent Hill territory. Nah, I don't need that. I don't need all that.
I mean, and if you at the end do a whole like a whole area of radius of hallucinogen, that would be hilarious. Like,
Well, that's how it was
it's
in
just
Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is not a bad game either. I remember playing it with Mighty Pete DX and J Kid on Villainy Games. And I watched the whole gameplay. I enjoyed it, but it had the same thing. It had a little girl who looked like she had magical powers and she can turn you into a monster or whatever. They cut dude's arm off and he put it back on, and it was all this magic stuff. And then it turns out at the end of the game, you find out no, she just has a new type of virus that looks like it's magic, but no, it's just a new virus. And it's like, no, there's no virus. No, come on. What do you matter? Ain't nobody in a science lab gonna create something that can make you hallucinate that much. That no, come on, get out of here. No, get out of here.
Rocky 3 is a good movie.
It's Rocky 3's the good movie. Come on. Nah. All right. But yeah, they want to take Resident Evil into the magic realm so bad with mythical monsters, but nah, Resident Evil's cool where it's at, man. You could change anything else in the game, but don't change it into a magic based horror. Or don't turn it into
Illuminati is saying that they explain it, by the way.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm 100. They always explain it by the end, because in the beginning, every first hours of gameplay, you're like, wait, is there actually heaven and hell in Resident Evil now? Is there actually God and the devil waging war on planet Earth? And then by the end of the game, you're like, nope, it's just a new virus. And in this game, it's gonna be. You already see the Umbrella logos everywhere, so you already know Umbrella has something to do with. Umbrella's the big bad from the Resident Evil series, if anybody doesn't know. I'll play it. I'll play it later. My review right now is I'll play it later when it drops like $30 on Steam. I'll play it. Yeah, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. It's not.
So we already touched on this earlier. Huh?
No, we didn't touch on this.
We we already touched on this earlier, but we're gonna just skim through it. Where we have a Nintendo warns about global chip shortages, and Sony as well, because interestingly enough, the production of the Switch might hit shortages just like Sony. They forecast a 12% drop in sales of its flagship Switch in the financial year ending in March 2022. Is because of important components. They need semiconductors components, which are unfortunately at a shortage. In contrast with over the past 12 months, when the Kyoto-based companies' fortunes were boosted by the coronavirus pandemic, restrictions that forced entire nations into lockdowns and increased demand for home-based entertainment. Right now, due to the prolonged effect of the pandemic, factories and acquiring materials is becoming harder.
What's up,
So-
Moth?
What's up, everybody? Yo, by the way, everybody, thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate it.
You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it.
So, in conclusion, if you were trying to acquire a Switch, I would say do it now, because in the coming months we will have a shortage of them.
They're gonna sell like crazy when they put this news out. Shortages lead to high sales.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
this is also gonna raise scalping on the console. It kind of sucks too, but everybody's going through it. It's a worldwide pandemic, people. What do you expect? Come on.
We were also expecting that they would have it would happen vice versa, right? Like, we thought that there would be shortages when it first started, and then it would pick up as the vaccine or whatever. But no, it's the opposite way around.
Oh yeah, it has to be the opposite. It has to be the opposite, because if you think about it, before the pandemic, they had already a huge supply. It was during the pandemic that manufacturing slowed down on these chips. So the huge supply, that means the huge supply is already running low. That's why they're saying this for both Sony and Nintendo. But where my mind went as soon as I read this article is All right, so maybe that means that there is no Switch Pro, because if they don't have the chips to make them, if they don't even have the chips to make the Switch, they're definitely not gonna have the chips for the Switch Pro. What do you think about that?
Good point. If anything, that's a very good point. I think if they're still, trying to acquire components for the Switch, and now they're having shortages, maybe they'll just buckle back and be like, oh, I don't think we should do a Pro. Geez, wow. Maybe they'll be like, oh, we should hold back on this. Maybe they were gonna do it this year. Because we've heard a lot of rumors.
We might still get the announcement at E3. Yo, E3 is gonna be big for this podcast, guys. We're gonna do a predictions episode like we did for the last direct, and we're gonna do what we got right, what we got wrong episode. So get ready for that, guys.
It's just gonna be a counter with like 107 wrongs.
Yeah. But we're gonna get everything wrong actually. But yeah, I think they might announce it at E3, and maybe it might come out next March. But if it does come out next March, it's gonna be very, very scarce. It is going to be the same situation that Sony's going through right now with the PS5, which could still lead to high sales, but it'll be bad for the consumers because it's gonna be hard for us to get it. It's gonna go to the rich first, and then it's gonna go to us.
Yeah, you seen how big the scalping is going right now. It's ridiculous.
The scalping game has changed so much in every atmosphere because of bots. Bots have ruined scalping anything. I mean, purchasing anything has become a nightmare because of bots, and it sucks. It really sucks for the consumer that you just want to casually walk in a store or go online and order on Amazon. Can't do it because this guy has 3 bots on this page refreshing it every second, and the minute it says purchase, that bot hits purchase in less than a millisecond because it's a bot. So forget about it.
What's Marv's thoughts on the upcoming Pokemon games?
On Aquarius Legends and the remake of Diamond Pearl. I've never been a Pokemon guy, guys. I've never really actually brought a Pokemon game, but I'm curious with Aquarius because it's open world. I'm curious if they can pull it off. The first trailer looked kind of raw. I don't know if it was they showed it too early, but I saw a lot of lot of frames. It looked like it was running at like 12 frames per second with some Pokemon in the background, but it might be my first Pokemon game if they pull off the open worldness of it, because there hasn't been a lot of innovation in the series since it first started, but because it's a robot. Shout out to DX. But yeah, if that answers your question, I've never been a Pokemon kind of guy, guys.
It's interesting. All the all the news that we have today, we have been linking through them.
We do this every week. We're like a puzzle, man. We put it together, bro.
Together.
We find a theme, overall theme. This theme is scarcity and scalping and stuff, and acquisitions.
We're about to jump into our main event, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
And now, our feature presentation.
Who would have thought we've ever been saying this? But Nintendo's making movies. What's happening,
bro?
So apparently Nintendo is looking to acquire let me see if I say this name right. Meledandri. He's going to join the Nintendo board. He's the Illumination founder and also worked on the Despicable Me franchise. The Mario movie has been having delays due to what's happening, and however we expect hopefully let's not have a repeat, even though Leguizamo was good. let's not get into that.
Mario, what was your name? Luigi Mario.
Oh no, and the Koopas in the no, and the Bowser in the no, please just
no. God.
So this gentleman is looking to join the Nintendo board, and they need more people. They need to bring more people on. I'm liking the Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa is looking into animation projects beyond the Mario movie. So that means it's not just the Mario movie, guys. It's not just the Mario movie.
Nah, if he's going to the board, they're doing a lot.
Yeah, they have ambition beyond that movie. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think is gonna be? Is it gonna be Zelda? What else? Metroid would convert really well into a movie if they did it right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think adding him to the board is it's interesting. It looks like he's gonna oversee all movie development of Nintendo properties. And I'm gonna say because they're working with Illumination, I would see them sticking a little closer to a lot of their kid friendly properties. Zelda, it could work as an Illumination movie, but I think maybe that'd be like a live action endeavor, which could still be overseen by this gentleman, but maybe from a different. I wouldn't want Illumination to make it because they've never made a live action movie, or I don't know. It could be animated. I don't know. But Metroid, I would especially like Metroid to be live action if they make it. I don't want it to be a CGI movie, and definitely not from Illumination. They've only done like CGI comedies, and Metroid is not a comedy. I like a serious take on the Metroid series. But
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah.
but I would like Illumination to make more things like a Kirby movie, well, not Pokemon, but they already have that. But a Yoshi movie, a Donkey Kong movie. Like there's a lot of properties, like a lot of kid friendly properties that Illumination can make movies for. And I think this is going to change the direction of Illumination's entire business model, because besides Despicable Me, they have a lot of like shovelware movies under their belt, Shark Tales and things like that. There's a lot of shovelware under their belt that they need that Nintendo probably wouldn't approve of. Nintendo's gonna oversee. They must be happy with what they're seeing from them in this Mario movie, and maybe Illumination is putting way more effort into this movie than they ever have with anything else they've ever done. Because for them to be like, "Yo, we're gonna take the founder of your company and put him on the Nintendo board with a bunch of old Japanese guys that like we don't bring in too many outsiders," that must mean they have a lot of confidence in this guy and in this company. Chris Meledordandri. But he's pending approval, so it's not 100% yet. But
Yeah, approval in June.
his role is called outside director. So I think he's going to be in charge of, communications between these companies. They're going to be making content for Nintendo outside of gaming. So
Nova said Star Fox could benefit from a movie. I don't think so. Oh no.
I would want like an animated series, something like along the lines of like what's it called? SWAT Cats. You ever seen SWAT Cats on Sin?
Yeah.
That they find a plane around the city and they fight like kaiju. Something like SWAT Cats and something like Bucky O'Hare. If you guys ever seen Bucky O'Hare, which a lot of people compare to Star Fox.
I want to see an original movie starring Sin as Star Fox, Fox McCloud.
It's already made, but it's pornographic. It's called it's called Sin Fox Assault. But yeah, I would like to see a Yoshi movie, standalone Yoshi movie. I would like to see a Kirby, Donkey Kong from Illumination, and what else? Freaking a lot of their kid-friendly properties, a lot of things around the Mario universe.
I think that's why they went with this guy, because it seems, Nintendo has so many properties they can convert into easy money in movies, in terms of movies, and I'm sorry to say it, but they can do shovelware movies so easily.
They could.
Like just.
But I mean, I think what Nintendo would make as shovelware would still be better than a million other shovelware movies like freaking Romeo and Juliet or what else did I see? The Croods. There's a lot of shovelware CGI movies.
Assassin's Creed killed me, dude.
Well, that's a live action, but I mean just in CGI. There's a lot of shovelware CGI movies, like a lot of them. Aside from like Shrek and anything Pixar makes, most of everything else is like shovelware. So with Nintendo overseeing it, they could level up this company a lot. Do what they did with Niantic. Niantic used to make shovelware games for phones until Nintendo stepped in and guided them into making Pokemon Go.
Yeah, they were just like, all right, you gotta.
You gotta step it up. You have to step it up now because you're working with us, and we demand the best. We have high expectations. So
Like when Kanye said he wanted to join help with Nintendo, he's like, you don't want to work with us.
bro, I picture that conversation every day when I wake up in the morning. Hey Reggie, I'm Kanye, yo. I want to make a game with Nintendo. Reggie like, no, you don't.
No,
no,
you
no,
don't.
no, you don't. No, you don't. But yeah, Nintendo's gonna level up Illumination a lot. I mean, let's look at a list of Illumination movies. By the way, this is what
Oh
I
yeah,
wanted
let's
to
do that.
do. Illumination Studios, um, movies. Okay, so let's look at their filmography. So Despicable Me 2. Despicable Me seems to be their biggest franchise. They have Hop, which I never heard of Hop. Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. I've heard of it in passing. The Secret Life of Pets. Despicable Me 3. The Grinch and The Secret Life of... So these guys don't have a lot of movies under their belt. So
The
Nintendo...
Secret Life of Pets was meh.
Yeah, I never even heard of it. But Nintendo's gonna change the directory of this company a lot, like a lot. Trust me, like this is gonna be a good thing for both of them. Yo, Alucard says I got this game about my mom. Nintendo, no, thank you. Yeah, it's a Kanye. Kanye's game. If you guys didn't watch the earlier episodes of the podcast, his game was about him using his mom to fly to heaven. I guess it was gonna play like Kid Icarus Uprising, but instead of Pit, you play with Kanye's mom. So I don't know, but
Yeah, Hop and the Lorax worry me. This list of movies is weird.
they haven't done a lot. So yeah, this is a big win for them, for Nintendo to trust them. So
If anything, they're probably thinking, okay, he has the individual, that gentleman
mm-hmm,
has a track record.
mm-hmm,
The studio is fresh,
mm-hmm.
and they're still, need more maturity. So probably Nintendo just gonna dip their hand and go, well, let's guide you in the right direction. You have some ideas, let's push you forward.
Yeah. Nintendo's probably gonna puppeteer them and pull the strings, and they're probably gonna end up only making Nintendo movies going forward, which 10 years from now they might regret, because who wants to make only one type of movie for the rest of their lives? But yeah, a Kirby movie would be honest. Moth, a Yoshi one. I think Donkey Kong. I think these are easy sells for movies, easy money.
Dude, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong movie. Yeah, and I see there's so much potential here. But like I said earlier, I would like that the more serious properties, the Metroids, the Star Foxes, the F-Zeros, the game franchises that have a little bit of hair on their chests, because no Nintendo property has that much hair on its chest, but those have a few specks of hair on their chest. I hope those movies get made with a more serious company and a more adult, or at least teenage orientated direction. But
You know what? What would be great? And again, I know I said it, but Metroid would be so good as a movie simply because the time and day calls for a female protagonist that's so freaking strong and guided by resolve, and Samus is one of those. Like, she's strong and resolute. Like,
you could,
dude.
the timing is right for it. That's for sure. The timing is definitely right for it. It's about who would make it and who would make it good. And for me, and this might just be my opinion, I think it has to be a horror movie. I don't think it could be just a little adventure movie. Like it's not.
Suspense.
I think horror. I think horror only because the Metroid series always has its roots in horror, because it's influenced by the Alien franchise, which is a horror franchise. I don't think it could be an action movie. I don't think it could be an adventure movie. It could have action and adventure elements, but I think it has to be scary, bro. Like, I think it has to be scary for me to like it, at least. think about it. When the Metroid like sucks on your face, it's the same thing as like an alien. When the alien, it has to be sci-fi horror. The alien bursting out their stomachs. It's kind of the same direction. So I would like it to be scary.
I don't know.
That's the thing. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
Nintendo.
Nintendo would allow it.
They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. That's why I probably wouldn't like it. Or who knows? Maybe I would, but
Suspense. If they could sell it with suspense, I think it'd be better. PG-13 suspense.
I don't know. I can't picture a Metroid movie not being scary. Like you really think about the games. You're alone. You're in space. You're fighting monsters. They're like, these things don't look like human looking. They're not like Superman. Superman's an alien, but he looks human. Like you'll have sex with the guy. Like you'll take him out on a date. Metroid, come on. You ain't going out on a date with no Metroid. Come on. What are you talking about? You know? Forget about it. Bada bing, you know? But for me, it would have to be scary for it to work. But that's just my opinion.
I think another franchise that would do so good if they stop doing the whole it's so rare. Like it's only been 2 movies so far which got it right, which is Detective Pikachu and Sonic, and that was an easy transition because of reasons.
Sonic is kind of shovelware, but it's still good. It's good shovelware.
If they get the whole non-interactive and interactive media down, The Legend of Zelda will be just presentable on itself, on its own merits. Like you don't have to do squat. Just sell it on its own merits.
I talked about the Zelda movie or TV show one episode where you weren't able to make it. The one I ever did solo, and I said that I think Zelda needs to be an animated, like hand-drawn animation, not CGI.
Yes.
It has to have like Studio Ghibli kind of vibes, and I think it has to be a TV show, not a movie. I think it should be a little more like Samurai Jack, where Samurai Jack, every episode was him walking into a new land that he didn't know, and then those people of that land having some kind of issue that he has to help them with. Like there's the people who jump high in Samurai Jack. They were good at jumping, but they were getting bullied by these robots, and Samurai Jack had to help them, stop being bullied or whatever. And then move on. Every episode he's in a new land. And I think Zelda should be that kind of thing. Almost like how Avatar: The Last Airbender is. You know how they were traveling and in every territory they went, there was a new issue they had to solve. I would like Zelda to be like, okay, this episode he travels to Zora's domain. The thing is frozen. And Link has to help them unfreeze by doing yada, 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 and blah, 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 and XYZ. So that's what I would like from it, honestly. Episodic.
They can pair, yeah, that would be right. And they can pair Zelda and Link so that Zelda will be the one that gets most of the conversation going, and then Link can be like silent protagonist, Mandalorian-ish. Like,
Mandalorian. That's another example I use too. I was saying that Zelda needs the Zelda show needs to be like the Mandalorian. But I would like it for Zelda and Link to travel together in the show, because then you do have a voice now, a character, you do have someone that talks. But even in Samurai Jack and in Mandalorian, those shows, the main character doesn't talk that much, and he doesn't have like, I guess they do have like little partners that speak on their behalf a lot.
Yes.
They do, yeah, because Mandalorian usually has some kind of partner with him.
It would work if Link didn't have any self-appointed agenda. Like, that's people get jarred when they go, oh well, Link has never talked, it's supposed to represent you. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't translate into non-interactive media.
It doesn't.
So
it doesn't. In no way.
You kind of have to make him, a blank slate, but a Mandalorian Samurai Jack-ish. Where it's like, Samurai Jack does have an agenda. That's a different story.
But he's still a blank slate. Samurai Jack is not like, he's not talking up a storm when he talks. He says like a few things and then moves on. Mandalorian also. So I picture Link, his main agenda for the series is like how Samurai Jack has to go back in time. Link's adventure is just him trying to get to Hyrule Castle to get Ganon out of there. Either to save Zelda, but if Zelda's traveling with him, then he has to save the king.
Time would work. Time would work with Zelda as well. Time would work.
It would work. Maybe the king is the one captured. So that's the main story. The main story is Link and Zelda traveling to Hyrule Castle, which takes a whole season for him to get there. And then every episode, he's coming across people who Ganondorf has affected, and like how Aku has affected everybody in Samurai Jack. Like every town has been miserable because he did something messed up to them, and then Link and Zelda have to fix it for them. So I wouldn't want really a movie, because in a movie, I just picture it being like a standard hero movie where, like, at the end of the movie, you can predict everything that's happening. I'd rather Zelda be like multiple little stories that leads up to one big ending. Right.
If it's episodic, I think it would sell much better. I think you're right. Especially if you have episodes where you can set and establish future events, and
exactly.
you got time. You don't have to have pressure. Yeah.
You gave the perfect example with Mandalorian. Mandalorian and Samurai Jack are kind of the same shows. They have the same structure. That's exactly how I would want Zelda to be, like that structure. Them traveling together and running into escapades in every village and town they visit. Or maybe having to get some kind of item from this town to make it to Hyrule Castle. Something like that.
Nova said Nintendo right now. Write that down. Write that down.
You can take it for free, Nintendo. We didn't invent it. But that's kind of the structure of like how Western movies used to be. The hero walks into a random town. There's some kind of bully in this town that's hurting the people, and then that hero who doesn't have a name has to rescue them somehow. It's like a Western. Make Zelda more like a Western. That's my or even like Avatar: The Last Airbender. They managed to have a lot of funny moments and cartooniness in a story where they're on a giant adventure to stop the Fire Lord. Fire Lord, what's his face? Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. There's one episode. Think about it. There's one episode where Link has to fight Dark Link, which is like the best fight of the series. It'll be. There's one episode where they go to the Goron Mountain and the Gorons are starving to death because the dragon is up there, won't let them get their rock food or whatever. So Zelda and Link have to help them get their rock food. They go to Zora's domain and they go inside Jabu Jabu's belly, and that's its own episode. Then they go to Gerudo.
Time can literally. You know what I'm loving as you're talking is that if they make the time, time be the thing, they can go through every iteration of every game.
Yeah, if they tie the time travel into it, because then yeah, they could do it. They go to the Rudos, the birds, the flying people, help them out with something. Yeah, it could work. It could work, man. It could work.
And eventually, the point with the ending, whenever they decide the season end will be, is the show end would be is finding a way to stop Ganondorf from grasping on time, and that would be great. It's like that's it. It's over. No more time. It's over, Ganondorf.
That's it. Yeah, I think it could work. And then the good thing about the Zelda series, the one complaint that most people have is that it doesn't follow the lore of the games. Like we watched Mortal Kombat, it doesn't really follow the lore that well. We watch Assassin's Creed or whatever, it doesn't follow the lore. With Zelda, every new Zelda game is somewhere in a different part of the timeline. So you have a little more leeway with taking creative what is it called? Freedom with some of the elements of the story. You know what I mean? You don't have to say, hey, Link has to go to the forest first. No, not really. Link doesn't always start off in the forest. Sometimes he starts off on a boat. And sometimes he's not using a boat. Sometimes he's using a bird to fly around. There's so many places they can go. That's why I don't want a movie, because a movie is only 1.5 hours or 2 hours. I feel like you can't do Zelda in 2 hours. Metroid, yes. Star Fox, yes. Mario, yes. You can't do Zelda in 2 hours for me.
Insert Skyward Sword. Oof. That would be like just dip into an episode and get out.
People don't like Skyward Sword, man, but it's cool.
No, I liked it.
I'm here and there with it. Some days I wake up, I like it. Some days I wake up, I hate it.
But I feel like then the franchise that would work as a movie and not as an episode would be Mario. Mario is definitely just a movie.
100%. That's a movie. Star Fox, I could see a series. Star Fox, I could see a cartoon. Donkey Kong, I could see a movie. Kirby, I could see a movie. Metroid, I could see a movie. F-Zero could be an anime. They already had an anime. Do it again.
Insert Mario Bros. 3 here. Yes. The thing that worries me, and I admit this, is if they do Mario, they're gonna have to do like Sonic, where they insert a human. How they're gonna do that? Like, oh boy.
They don't have to. If you really look at Despicable Me, which is their biggest movie, Illumination, there's no people. There's no live action humans walking around.
True.
They did that for Sonic because it'll be cheaper than animating that whole world for 2 hours. Just have Sonic run around the real world. That way we could just move the camera fast and then
Odyssey
draw
style.
him later.
Okay, good point. Good point.
Yeah, if they do Odyssey style where it's an adventure like that, where he's going to different worlds but how you gonna do Odyssey in 2 hours though? That's the thing. It'll be fat. It'll be like Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph was cool. He went to many different type of game worlds, but he was only there for like a minute or two on most of them. And then he stayed in the Mario Kart kind of movie for the whole movie towards the end. You saw Wreck-It Ralph, right?
Yeah, I didn't. I liked it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not the best movie, but that's kind of how Mario Odyssey is. Like, I remember Wreck-It Ralph goes to like a Halo world and he's fighting these bug alien things. And he meets the chick there, and I forgot what other world he went to. His world was the 2D Nintendo style world from the arcade of Donkey Kong. And then he went to the Mario Kart world, and he kind of stayed there for the whole movie because you can't do that many worlds in 2 hours. Like, how would you even do Kingdom Hearts in 2 hours? I'd rather have a TV show of Kingdom Hearts.
Insert Qbert here. Don't remind me. The interesting thing to think about is how big is Mario's head gonna be?
I think with Nintendo being in charge of the movie, because it looks like they're very hands-on now, they're not going to do what they did in the 80s, or I mean early 90s, where they like, here's our property, go make a good movie with it. Nintendo's going to be the puppeteers, bro. And if they're adding this guy to their board, it's because they want to control him. They want to hear like, hey, tell us what happened with the movie. What's going on with it? They're going to bully him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, no, Mario's not going to look weird. They're going to have direct control over how Mario looks. And I'm willing to bet he's going to look a lot like how he looks in Odyssey. Maybe a little more detail.
I hope they don't they don't put Charles Martinet as the voice actor, because this is one of the it's one of the sins that worry me about movies, is when you commit to a voice actor that doesn't have acting capabilities. Even though they may voice act well for a game, they're not capable of voice acting for a movie.
And vice versa. Some movie actors are horrible in video game voice acting. Yeah, you're right. But you don't think he'll be good in a movie? I think he'd do a good job. He has other roles. He has been in other shows. If I'm not mistaken, he's in Skyrim. I think that's what I heard about Charles Martinet. Somebody Google that for me. I don't feel like Googling right now. Yeah, you never know. He might kick ass in the movie. I don't know. Yeah, he voices Parthenax. Skyrim has some crazy, yeah, Parthenax, whatever.
Mario not being a series when it literally has classic cartoon setup of traveling to places, collecting things, getting power-ups, predictable enemies, as well as a variety of different enemies across the series. Yes, but it doesn't have diversity in terms of interactivity, and the conversion from non-interactive media to interactive media is very difficult to transpire.
Okay, so let's talk about Mario's past actors. And yeah, Charles Martinet was a dragon in Skyrim. So Mario has been portrayed by Lou Albano, which for the time, you could rub your head. I think he was all right for the time, because Mario didn't have a personality yet. He kind of gave Mario his initial personality. Then he was played by, somebody correct me, what's this prestigious actor's name? This guy was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He kind of looks like Danny DeVito. Yes. I forgot his name. This guy is an Academy Award winner and everything. I forgot his name already.
Dude, no. Hold on.
So we gotta look it up. Yeah, look it up. But for me, I feel like Charles Martinet is a good in-between both of those people. Like, or he leans a little more towards the Lou Albano kind of character, but you know, not as Italian. They kind of toned down the whole spaghetti thing.
Yeah, I remember spaghetti.
Oh, ravioli. That's another thing too. I bet you there's not going to be a lot of Italian stuff in the movie, which Nintendo has downplayed Mario's Italianness for a long time now. Since the N64 days, we haven't really heard Mario say anything kind of Italian anymore. Does Mario still say Mamma Mia? I don't think he says Mamma Mia anymore.
I don't know. There was a Super Mario World cartoon and the Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon. Yes.
Yeah, but they both had the same guy. Mario hasn't said Mamma Mia since the 64 days, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat. They haven't mentioned him being a plumber much either. You know what? I'm willing to go off of the thought that maybe Mario is not even Italian anymore. He's probably just always been from the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, because he doesn't say Mamma Mia. He doesn't say
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. That was a good actor, but maybe the Mario movie was not a good fit for him. I think he was really mad with that movie. Rest in peace. He died a couple years ago. Yeah, I don't think Mario has even said "Let's go." I don't think he's even said that in a long time. I don't think he's said anything kind of Italian. He doesn't Smash. He says "Let's go." I don't remember him saying that in Smash. I don't know. Correct. He does say it in Smash. He definitely doesn't say Mamma Mia in Smash. So Luigi definitely says "Let's go." Yeah, he still says that in Mario Kart. So all right, he has still a little bit of Italian accent to him. No Mamma Mia, but "Let's go" definitely. Okay, so he's still a little bit Italian, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think they'll downplay it in the movie a little bit.
You know what oddball of a movie or series would be? Wario.
Wario would make a great Adult Swim show, bro. I would pay good money to see a Wario show on Adult Swim. Forget about it.
It's not about condensing it. I think Mario wouldn't need to be condensed. They could make a movie and themselves. They make a second.
You don't gotta condense nothing. What do you have to condense in Mario? There's no grand epic lore behind. This is we don't need 2 hours of Bowser's backstory and ambition and none of that, bro. Come on. What are you talking about? Condense what? Condense the origin of Mario's hat? Come on. Nah, you don't need to do any of that stuff, bro. Just make a Mario movie. Just make it funny and fun and good looking. And I think they should use Charles Martinet. I don't know. Sin says no, but I think he would do good in a movie. I think he would be all right. How much is Mario going to be talking in the movie anyway?
Well, I think just for the broader audience, if they're working on a movie, they just go like the Despicable Me route.
Or if they go the Sonic route. Well, yeah, both of those are the same thing, right? They just pick the Hollywood actor to do the voice. But what Hollywood actor are you going to get to do Mario? You're going to get John Turturro, whatever his name is? You know who John Turturro? Damn, I never could say his name right.
Somebody take Mario saying lines and put Dwayne Johnson.
Too bad James Gandolfini's not alive anymore, right?
All right.
They made Cruella.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give me a hell yeah.
Give me a mushroom, yeah. And that's the bottom line. Yo, yeah, Stone Cold doing Mario, that'd be crazy. No, bro, I don't even think they should get a Hollywood actor to do it. I know in Despicable Me they got Steve Carell to do the guy Groot, whatever his name was. But I don't even think I think Mario movie sells itself. I don't even think Sonic needed a Hollywood actor, but he did all right, the Sonic guy. He did all right. I didn't even think you didn't even really need Ryan Reynolds for Pikachu. That was just a bonus, but actually I'll take that back because Pikachu has never really had a voice in the games. I take that back. No, you kind of did need to give him a Hollywood actor.
I wonder how they're gonna do Detective Pikachu too. Like, cause they already went past the game where the game kind of keeps Pikachu, and now it's like, well, we know who Pikachu was. That's it. And sorry, like, what are we gonna do?
Ryan Reynolds did kill that role, but he kind of just played himself. I kind of had high hopes for Danny DeVito, to be honest with you. But then I understood at the end of the movie, which I'm not gonna spoil, why they went with Ryan Reynolds, because it would have been weird if they had went with a Danny DeVito voice. Danny DeVito would have killed that Pikachu voice. You know what? Didn't put Danny DeVito in the Mario movie, in the new one.
Oh.
I mean, he's got a little more grittiness to his voice, but he probably could kill it as Mario. I'm picturing it.
They let Roger Craig Smith go, so we don't know who the next Sonic will be in the games. Yeah, they were like, all right, we're gonna make the movies and the games one. It's like, wow.
I actually heard an update on that from Roger Craig Smith, and he said himself that he personally stepped down from the role. So I don't know if that's true anymore.
Sure.
He just said he probably could just be saying that, but he said that, you do a role for like 10 years, you kind of want to move on and do other things, but I don't know if I believe that, because I could hear David Hayter being Snake. I want David Hayter to be Snake until the day I die. Actually, the day
isn't Snake based on
Kurt Russell? He is based off Kurt Russell. Yeah. The voice is even similar to Kurt Russell's, but still, I'd rather hear David Hayter doing it than Kurt Russell or whoever they got for part 5. I forgot his name. Kurt Russell too old anyway to do the voice now, or he wouldn't take it seriously because he's not from that era where video games were big.
Who they got for Metal Gear 5? What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Infinite. Roger Craig Smith said that he said that it was time to move on, which is weird. Why would you turn down money? Sonic games get made every couple of years. You get money every time. But
I believe nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably wanted the voice actor from the movies. But yeah, brother, that's all I got for now, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap up the show. We are here.
Actually, start that right from the beginning, bro. This beat slaps. If you ever played Ridge Racer 4, it has the best soundtrack, bro.
He's the one for me. There's no place I'd rather be. Yeah. To the finish line. Everywhere you look, he's right on time.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sinfanta. You can catch me on Twitch. That's me-Sinfanta. And
my name is Nolemorph, and I'm the brave wolf. Follow me on Twitch, Bravery Arcade /twitch.tv/Bravery Arcade /twitch.tv/Bravery.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you on the next episode. And as always,
mission completed.